Can we just talk about the fact that healthcare and provider organizations are unique? We are not a company that's basically got everybody in a big office building, right? We have people on premise every day taking care of patients, and we have a support staff around them taking care of helping them to take care of patients, right? So that's where the IT people who have to be on site come into play. I always tell my IT teams, we are the extended care team. We're part of the extended care team. We don't touch the patients, but we provide the solutions and the systems for the people who do. And I think that truly something is lost when your IT people are remote and not having that interaction with your clinical and support staff, right? We do at Boston Children's something called Rounding to Influence every other week. And there's key questions that leaders are asked to go for half an hour and talk with a group of their staff in a rounding situation and surface issues and get input. Those have gone to virtual, but for many, they can be on site. And I asked this most recently to be included in one with clinicians. I asked the CNO, whatever you're organizing, I'd like to be with you, because the questions this week are very pertinent things that I need to hear as the CIO. And her first response was virtual or in person. And I'm like, I'm virtual at this point. So yeah, we'll do it virtual. And we did. And we had 10 clinicians on the Zoom call with us in half an hour, very rich conversation, giving us a lot of input. But I just think, my point is we have to be very careful within healthcare as to what's going to work best and most effectively supporting our clinicians.
Yeah, and I like that you brought that up. And before we leave this, there's a section and I highly recommend these articles. We'll put them in the show notes. The Harvard Business Review one on how to do hybrid right has a bunch of really good research in it. Companies are using this moment as an opportunity to reimagine workflows. New hybrid arrangements should never replicate existing bad practices, as was the case when companies began automating work processes decades ago. And they go on to say, hey, companies are taking the opportunity. They give a handful of examples. Retail Bank Future of Work Consortium analyzed and reimagined workflows by asking three crucial questions. The first is, are any team tasks redundant?
Yeah.
Right. That seems like an obvious. Can any tasks be automated or reassigned to people outside the team? And the third one is, can we reimagine a new purpose for our place of work? Those are three questions. I'd probably add a couple into that, but generally speaking, this is an opportunity. We're seeing the tools really become more sophisticated. And to a certain extent, we need to reimagine what our conference rooms look like, because you could imagine in the future that 5 people will be in that room and 10 people will be remote.